Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. This is another muscle car in GT2, and say it with me, that means this car from base is incredibly broken. So the Challenger that is in this game originally is listed as a 1972 model. It has a 290 brake horsepower 1970s engine and has wrong gear ratios. Now, you might recall when we did the Plymouth Cuda well back, the Cuda in this game is far more powerful than it's supposed to be, whereas this is far less powerful than it's supposed to be. And so the GT2 Plus mod has fixed that. It's corrected this into what this actually is, which is 1970 Challenger RT with the 440 4-barrel carburetor to 375 brake horsepower V8 that this should have, and has corrected the air and has adjusted the pricing because this car's also ridiculously cheap in the base GT2, and fixed the gear ratios. So this is essentially, if you're playing standard Gran Turismo 2 along with me at home, this car's going to be nothing like the one that you have in your game. This one's going to be loads better. In the same way that the Cuda we drove is going to be far worse than the one that you have in your game. Challenger's cool. I'm more of a Charger person myself, even into the modern day where the Challenger is, let's be honest, not as good. But yeah, the Challenger's still cool. This is, of course, the car that was made famous in Vanishing Point, where it was white, but I've gone with Plum Crazy because you give me the option of Plum Crazy, I'm going for the Plum Crazy. Give me any of the weird colours muscle cars coming, I'm going for the weird colours. I'm not going for the predictable ones. Anyways, front-engined, rear-wheel drive, 594 horsepower, 1,473 kilos, ridiculous amounts of torque. I don't suspect this is going to be particularly drivable, but we'll find out. This car is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. And it really will be best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Cultus Pikes Peak version. This is going nowhere near that. This has a lot of torque though, so we might be able to just wing it in second gear. In terms of where this is going to go, muscle cars are, unsurprisingly, not fast around this course. The fastest one we've had was, I think it's the Chevrolet Camaro Z28, which sounded like a 31.1. But to be honest, this is going nowhere near that. I don't think anyway, looking at it. In terms of where this is going to go, I've just earmarked the 71 Dodge Charger, which is also available, as perhaps the benchmark for this, 31.723. I think that's possible in this. They're sort of right around Shelby GT500 as well. It's definitely better than stuff like the Roadrunner and the Cuda. 31.675 on its first flyer. So, yeah, about where I expected it to be. Anything now's a bonus. Launching it, as much as it is an old school muscle car going for Starsky and Hutch stunts, don't seem to help it. It sounds good though. It sounds good and it looks good, which, let's be honest, is almost all of the fight with a muscle car. So, once it gets those two things done, who needs anything else? I do need to be careful with the gears on this, because I am using first, just because I might do lap in second and just sort of see what happens, but yeah, it's one of those cars that can like rev well into its red line, so need to be careful with that. This is a classic muscle car in the sense that the more I try and push this, the less it wants to go that route. Right, let's just use second and see what happens. I don't think... Weirdly, it makes a lot of torque, but it doesn't feel particularly manoeuvrable in second. Oh, that also won't help. Maybe we'll do it on the next lap. God, this is boaty. That is how I would describe this to drive, is boaty. Definitely boaty. It's, yeah, I don't know, maybe the torque is enough. It does sort of seem to get, once it gets up to a certain point, it gets up to speed really quickly, but I'm just getting it there. This first complex is a nightmare in this car. It really is. Yeah, first gear's just quicker out of these low speeds. Yeah, it's well quicker in first gear. I think there's time in that, definitely. It was worth a shot with the second gear to sort of see what would happen, but yeah, I think you need to use first, but using first is a bit of a death wish. It is fast, there is no doubt about that, and it's, to be honest with you, for a muscle car, surprisingly alright to drive that. You know, it's no Camaro, which is sort of the handling champ, but in terms of like other stuff we've had, that's pretty good, really. Yeah. It doesn't show a lot of time in that. I think there could be, I could see a 31.5 in this. I don't think it's top tier muscle cars. Again, I don't think it's anywhere near stuff like the Corvette Stingrays and the Camaros, to be honest. Shelby GT350 is going to be interesting when that comes around, but yeah, it's another one of those weird sort of things where you try and push it and it doesn't really respond all that well, which I'm not too surprised. Yeah, not bad, but I don't know, I don't know, it's sort of what you'd expect, I guess, I don't know. 31.675 will place this into 393rd place. Goes in between the Corvette 427 Stingray and the Mazda Unos Cosmo, which was a terrible vehicle. It is quicker than the Dodge Avenger, which is good. Quicker than the Charger, quicker than the Shelby GT500, Plymouth Roadrunner. A lot of the sort of pretty good muscle cars hang around the 31.7s. Vastly quicker than the Cuda by about 0.7. Well quicker than some of the real bad muscle cars, stuff like the God, I've got to try and find it now, the Plymouth GTX, which I think is the worst muscle car we've had. Millions times quicker than that, so that's good. Quicker than a V8 Vantage by like 0.13 of a second, so 1.3 of a second, so yeah, pretty good overall, actually, to be honest, as far as muscle cars go. Maybe a little bit disappointed it didn't get as quick as maybe I might expect it to, but I'm not shocked, to be honest. But, yeah, there you go. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.